Hello everyone, Lurgs here, and today
I'll show you how to fit a garage door floor threshold weather seal heavy duty rubber draft excluder. Wow, that's a mouthful. I'm going to be fitting this behind a roller shutter door, but it should also work on an up and over door. Now I'm fitting this today on my garage because under specific conditions of driving rain and a specific wind direction, I was getting water and wind underneath the garage door and making the garage floor wet. So I'm going to be fitting this draft excluder rubber seal strip inside the garage door to help prevent any water coming inside the garage. I'm going to be fitting the rubber seal inside the garage door, and the first thing you need to do is measure the width of your garage, where the rubber seal strip is going to go. So measure it from inside there to the other side. That's where I'm going to be putting it, just inside the door. And I've measured up this width, and on this one it's 7 foot 6 inches. So make sure you get one that's longer than you need. So I'm going to order an 8 foot garage door floor threshold strip. I've put that order in online, and whilst I'm having a cup of tea with the magic of video, it's already turned up. And you can easily cut this to length just using a simple little hacksaw. And I've already cut the end off, so it's exactly 7 foot 6. And what else you're going to need is Sudol Fix All High Tack Super Strong Bonded Polymer Sealant. This bonding sealant comes in black or white, and this stuff is absolutely amazing. Once the rubber strip is sealed down, I'm just going to use some bricks on top of it just to hold it down whilst it dries out, and also some gloves because you don't want this stuff on your fingers. And it's also worth wearing some protective eye goggles. I've already cut this rubber strip down to size, and I'm just going to line it up where it's going to go. I'm just going to have it slightly inside the roller shutter door. Now the surface that I'm going to be putting it down on is a little bit uneven, so make sure you get lots of bonding sealant on it. So that's where it's going to be going there. There's a few gaps underneath that frame there, but I can fill that up with the bonding sealant as well. I've got a bit of a bump in the corner there, which is not very level. Just got this small piece of pebble sticking out the concrete. So I'm just going to chip that away just to make sure it's nice and level. Make sure you do that anywhere where the strip is going across your garage. You do want it fairly level. It doesn't have to be completely level, but you don't want any bits sticking out. If you've got any holes, you can fill those up with the sealant, it's not a problem. Then just sweep the surface, make sure it's nice and tidy, you don't want lots of dust everywhere. And now my neighbours think I've completely lost the plot because they're looking out the window thinking, this guy's hoovering his garage floor. He's either very tidy or he's a nutter. That's all nice and clean now. What I'm going to do is just mark up roughly where it's going to go, just using a pencil. So I'm just going to close the door down a little bit. And with the roller shutter door down, I can see where the rubber floor seal is going to sit. And I can kind of push it into place. You don't want it directly underneath the rubber seal, you just want it slightly sitting back. This rubber seal is raised in height, so even if it's not right up against the door, it should prevent any water coming over the top of it. So we're inside the garage now. Let's just open the door. I'm just going to mark up where it's going to go just to give me a rough idea. Don't have to mark it all the way along. It just means once you've put all the bonding sealant on it, you know where it's going to go. You can just see that pencil mark there. Now take your Sudol Fix All High Tack Super Strong Bonding Polymer. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I'm not sponsored by them at all, but this stuff is so good. As I mentioned at the beginning, it does come in black or white, but I'm using the black one today. And the bricks are to put some weight on it, just to hold it down. Let's get the bonding sealant ready. Put it in the gun. Now I'm just going to move into the shade. You don't really want to apply this in direct sunlight. And if my YouTube channel becomes successful, yes, I'll be able to buy a new pair of shorts. So I've turned the rubber strip upside down. Make sure it's nice and clean. And then you just want a zigzag approach all the way from one end to the other. Nice even spread. Let's just cut this footage down. This took a couple of minutes from one end to the other. It's 7'6", and I only needed one of these bonding sealants for this job. I still had some left over to fill up any gaps. Once I've installed it, I'll fill up any little gaps or any little holes. So the bonding sealant is on there ready. And just make sure that you line it up with the pencil line that you had. It won't stick absolutely straight away, so as long as you get it reasonably close, then you can close your door and then slightly move it around, push it, move it, get it into position. So that's nicely up against the inside of the garage wall there. And it's exactly where I want it to be, so I'm just going to use the weight of my body just to push it down. Great stuff. Feel like I'm walking the tightrope now. Once it's in position, you can then seal the ends and then just lay your bricks on top of it just for some weight. And then I'm just going to leave that overnight just to let that seal completely. This stuff dries pretty quick anyway, but I'm just going to leave it overnight, and this is the next day. That's the weight of all the bricks. I can just remove all of those now. Any small little gaps there you can see, like where the gravel is, you can just top those up with the bonding sealant. So we'll do that shortly. That is looking great. And any small gaps that you've got, you can just get the bonding sealant into those small gaps. And then with your gloves on, you can just smooth that over. This is only a garage, so it doesn't have to be super tidy, super neat.
We're going in and we're going in full throttle. That'll keep those fighters up our tails. Look, at that speed, you're going to be able to pull up in time. Be just like Beggar's Canyon back home.
And that's where I've sealed the end there, and I've sealed underneath the door frame as well. Just going to go out on my bike for a little ride. This is absolutely fine for driving over, cycling over. So really good seal. And then the ultimate test, the next time it rains and is windy, the garage floor is dry. I'm really pleased with that. Looks good and it's practical, and it stops the water coming underneath the garage door. It's rock solid, this polymer sealant. Really good stuff. I use it for multiple things. And now the final grand opening. Oh, there's a lovely cup of tea. Be rude not to have a lovely brew. I hope that video was useful to you. Whilst the sunset sets on my life, in the top right, how to defrost your freezer easily. In the top left, how to clean your UPVC guttering so it stays clean. And in the bottom left, how to test your car battery using a multimeter. I hope that video was useful to you.